And yeah, Lindy, you don't get too close. We back up just a little bit. And we're at, what's the name of the falls? I'm sorry, I've forgotten. Kathleen, you want to?
Grand Canyon.
Well, I know, but the name of this particular fall?
The Upper Falls.
The Upper Falls. Thank you, over to my right.
My own tape too.
Oh, would you like me to tape you taping this? Okay, and we just walked down, what, 700 feet was it, guys?
Yep.
To the base of this. And I'm going to try and sneak over to the edge. And if I get too close, you'll probably see a very interesting action photo as I'm scrambling. Don't push me, Lindy. We went way down to the base of that. That fall drops twice the distance of Niagara Falls, and we walked down steps that seemed like they never stopped. Actually, going down wasn't quite as bad as coming back up. Of course, Lindy was the one that got the tiredest on that, weren't you, Lindy?
Yep.
Mason is still gasping for air. Okay, now I'll show you. This is called the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone, and if you bear with me on this panorama, we'll kind of traverse to the right and traverse all the way out here, and you'll see the canyon walls, and it goes down deep. And Noel's just hitting me. We'll come back across this way and back up toward the waterfall. That is amazing. The mist that comes off of that creates a constant rainbow, and the mist very nearly comes up to the visitors' gallery platform, which is way down in there. Okay, we'll pick you up at a later point. Noel and Lindy going down the steps. They're going to walk out to the artist, what they call the artist point. There was a place where an artist did his rendering of this beautiful Upper Falls. Up the view from a different angle. I shot this a little prematurely before we sneak around here, and you can see much better the flow of the canyon. I'll step a little bit closer here. We'll look right down. Inch our way back up. There you can see the extent of this. It's just massive. You can see from here why, from the left to the right, the canyon very much approximates what you see in certain sections of Grand Canyon. It's just spectacular from here. Let's pan across here. You're probably getting a lot of wind sound because it's very windy right now. You can see. You can see the sheerness of that rock that apparently has had some landslide at some point because of the way it breaks off and then feeds right down into this canyon. This is magnificent through here. Very top of the falls, this is called the Upper Falls in Yellowstone. Same day, July. Yeah, I think it was set about the time of Teddy Roosevelt. He was the one that set this up.
Well, I think but the interesting thing about this is that it survived the Yellowstone fire in 1988, just barely. The fire came to, it was licking at the roof and buildings, but because of the efforts of the firefighters and the shift in the winds, combined, luckily, it was able to be removed. But a lot of the outbuildings had to be rebuilt because they were burned.
Okay, let's go walk down here. We're going to take a look at the inside so you can get an appreciation for it. At the inn, this is Noel trying to get out of the picture. Here's a beautiful fireplace just inside the main entrance. I'm just going to walk around here for a second. Let's get a look at how old this is. You can see the old timbers especially floors going up. As you can see this beautiful old clock goes up the chimney. The music, by the way, is provided by the Yellowstone Inn and not by me. So we can kind of get a panorama here. Old timbers that hold this thing up. Of course, there are the classic trappings of gift shops and so on within here. But
They closed the upper platforms. I don't know if you saw
yeah, we tried to walk up there, and right up there at that level, they've closed them off. I'm looking almost right straight up now, and you can see way to the top of the building. The rooms in here are pretty much kept to their original setting. All the rooms are minimally heated. They have no telephones and no air conditioning. Usually they're with only running water in a sink, and you usually have to go down the hall for toilets or for showers. Anything you want to tell us about this, Kathy?
electricity now, but it used to be candle power.
Yeah, all right, here's where they used to have the candles, I assume. At the Old Faithful Geyser. Mason, Lindy, Noel. Mason and Noel and Lindy, after having had a long night of sleep. Would we get about 7 hours sleep last night, honey? We've been tenting for the last 2 days in Grant Campground, and it is about 9 minutes after 9. There is Old Faithful just outside of the lodge that we had just shown you. Now, excuse the bumpy walking here. I'm not very good at this. I'm going to cut it off. We've got to get a little closer and we'll see the thing take off. Going off over there. Now this whole region in here is abundant with various different kinds of geysers and mud pots, and what are some of the other names, Kathy?
Beehive.
Well, the other kinds of things.
Only geysers and sulfur pools.
What about
There aren't any mud pots here. That's up a little
Do
bit.
they have the ones that just do the...
But last night we had taken a walk around this thing. It's about a 3-mile loop that lets you see probably 50, did you guess 50 different ones?
Definitely. If a lot more than that, I would say.
And Kathy and Lindy and Noel saw Daisy Geyser erupt, and they saw, what was the other one?
Daisy erupts every 11 hours, I believe, so it was nice that we were there at the time. And we saw Castle, we saw Riverside.
What was the big one? There was the
Castle.
Castle was the big one? Okay.
I don't have my brochure with me. See how often it erupts. But both of those are rare. I mean, Beehive, for example, we saw that. All of us saw that. That erupts every 1 to 3 days.
Oh yeah, so now the Beehive is right out. It's right out about in there. And it looks like a beehive. We're standing around here waiting another few minutes. The Old Faithful, holding true to its name, erupts faithfully at about 70 minutes. It's been doing that for decades, I guess. Kathy has a whole set of instructions on where to walk when to make sure we see these things erupt. Okay, we'll cut this off for a second.
And it goes on for
Yes.
75 minutes, plus or minus. It lasts for 1 to 5 minutes. And 4 times we've seen it so far, it's gone more like 2 minutes. So it hasn't gone very long. It also hasn't gone very high. It goes about 100 feet to 100 meters. Oh yeah, for bird which is surveillance water, which is warning without anything.
Now, how long before we expect it to go off this morning?
How long?
What if,
Oh, what time is it? It's supposed to go off at 9:13 this morning.
So far with continuously. But it has a tolerance plus or minus 10 minutes.
how many times have we seen it so far? This is the
What time?
fourth time. Okay.
Actually, Mason and Jack saw it one more time, but no.
There's where the boiling cauldron is, and the indicator will be just a little spurts of water initially. Backed up a little bit here. And for 9:15 in the morning, there are quite a few people out here. It's panning all the way around this way. And you can see Old Faithful. You can see the people that are all lined up out here to watch it. All the way around here. By the way, there's another lodge that's here at Old Faithful. It kind of mirrors the other one. Not quite as old, but really quite elegant. One thing that we've found here, staying close to the campgrounds in this national parks, is that they're very clean, very organized, but very, very expensive. Going to the grocery store to buy things is probably at least twice, if not more. And eating in their cafeterias and so on is probably likewise twice as expensive. It's the first spray of water then that normally precedes the big geyser.
It takes an hour and a half. Grandma,
9:30.
9:30, 9:33, okay. We'll back off a little bit here.
So it's supposed to go off at 9:13. This is a big, not its typical.
Big delay. See the water spraying now. It's just about ready to go. Back off a little bit here. We're standing probably 100 yards from the geyser at this point. You notice that there's a lot of barren land between here and there. It's all very dangerous thermal under caves, if you will, that you run the risk. Yeah, you run the risk of walking out there and sinking in because the water channels that filter to these thermals. You'll see them cave in every now and then. Well, that was kind of a precursor that didn't evolve. It usually by now is gone. Must be welling up for a good one here. Usually on the ones that go not so regularly, the longer the time between them, the bigger the flow of water. Now it's beginning to go. It's a big shot. Pull away back from it, but you see the plume. There's a lot of steam on this one. More steam than I've seen on for a long time. Of the four, this is the fifth one we've seen. We haven't seen this much.
Can't get to the top of it.
Tremendous amount of steam in this one. It's not quite as faithful as usual.
Yeah, it's still going up in a minute, 9, 10 seconds.
You can see that most of what's coming off is steam.
See the water up.
Yeah.
Far left. Short-lived. Old faithful is losing coats.
I don't think so. I think it's just going into a cycle here. You know, people are plotting their last half-hour wait for this thing.
Basically 1 minute and 49 seconds.
Okay, so we're gonna close this recording off now.
Alright, let's go.
Have a sense of the devastation of the fire here in Yellowstone. Yellowstone has about 2.2 million acres and about 950,000 of it was burned during the 1988 fire. Hello, Jack.
Alright, get this out of your way here.
Okay,
Here, go right side.
you can see out here, both sides of the road. There's some places that are a lot worse than this, but we didn't have our camera working at that point. So we thought we'd just give you a little sense of it. The forest rangers feel this was something positive that occurred because it let the natural vegetation grow back. We'll film as we drive just to let you see the extent of this. This may not work. It may be going too fast. Here we go. All this area is burned. This whole section is burned. What happened with this fire, it was sort of unusual in that most fires burn along the ground on the understory. But this fire burned in the canopy, which is high up where basically where the leaves are on the trees. And in doing that, because it burned the canopy, it allowed a lot of the natural grasses to start growing back. And in fact, it's a healthier diet, the rangers say, for the animals now, because they're able to get good vegetation on the ground. And before, the canopy was so thick that it prevented grasses and good vegetation for the animals to grow. So they feel it's a very healthy, positive change for the forest. If you can see this at all. Give it a try. Are here, a setup. Usually Lindy's in the middle seat, and Mason's back there in the corner. Noel's back and back. And at night when we camp, Lindy sleeps in the tent with Jack and myself, and Mason sleeps in the back seat, stretched out, and Noel sleeps in the middle. What do you guys have to say about this arrangement?
Love it. Cold. Cold.
Cold? You got cold last night? It was below freezing here in Yellowstone last night.
Very cold. But we stayed warm.
Okay. Here we go.
Where's Dad?
Fire devastation on the hillside. There's some trees green interspersed with the trees that were burned that weren't hit by the fire. But in general, you can see along this lake, up on the hillsides.
We're up at the Mammoth Hot Springs, very northern section in Yellowstone, and this is called Angel Thermal. It's like on the upper terrace of the Mammoth. And just so you can get a sense of the enormity of this thermal. You see almost prehistoric looking trees. We've just driven through about a 2-mile section of this that has gnarled trees. Looks like they've been frozen in time.
Shot here of Noel on one of his frequent naps in the car.
After one of his temper tantrums.
Yes, well, he got hungry and tired on this trip, so we spent a lot of time sleeping. The girls are back there giggling.
This is on our way from the northern loop in Yellowstone.
There he is, snoozing. Here's a driver for the moment.
You're recruiting somebody else? Wait, let me just turn off some noise. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 on this side of the road, and there's probably another 20 on the other side of the road. Just meandering, grazing down here.
Of the devastation of the fire. See if I can give you a feel for this. Way out in the distance, and way over here. Over here, it just looks very desolate. There's some elk back in these woods. I don't know if we're going to be able to focus on any because the car is moving or not. Can you see it way back in there? This doesn't look like it's focused, but we'll see.
Okay, now, prior to this film, by the way, we had tried to get the picture of a big horn sheep and kind of a bigger view of the mountains as we came into Lake Louise. Right now, hopefully the microphone is working, we're at the chateau at Lake Louise, and as you can see, this is a pretty elegant type hotel that overlooks Lake Louise, and I will pan to the left and you will hopefully see Lake Louise. Oh, look what we have here. We have some people over here we can kind of sneak up on and wander over this way and see if they have something to add to the conversation. As you can see, Lake Louise very elegantly sets the stage for this beautiful mountain. Oh, just kind of traverse across the mountain. And there you can see all of the glacier formations. Let me get up here and try not to trip and fall into Lake Louise. And we'll go back up across the mountains here. And it's really quite beautiful. Obviously, any of these kinds of panoramas are very difficult to capture on the two-dimensional plane of a film, but we're trying to give you some idea of what kind of beautiful surroundings we have here. Basin, would you like to tell us about what you've done this morning?
What?
Well, I don't know. You tell me what you've done this morning.
You won't be able to hear me anyway.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
We went.
We went where? Well, can you tell them about the Bighorn?
Oh, right. We went riding along the highway.
Oh, tell them right up here so we can hear you.
Where?
Right up here in the microphone so we can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We were riding along the highway.
Oh, don't let go of my arm. Having trouble panning here. Go ahead. You were
We were
walking.
riding along the highway, and we saw a bighorn sheep, and it was eating the grass that was near the road, and it was our first bighorn sheep. And then when all these cars started clustering around it, it jumped up a cliff in like 2 bounds, and
The cliff was probably, what, 30 feet high?
yeah,
It was really very tall. It was amazing how
And-
quickly he went up.
and then he went up, and then he decided to come down again and get his picture taken, and
Let's get Noel here. Wait a minute. Hello, Noel.
so we got
No,
his
no,
picture.
don't run out of the way, please.
So we
Hey,
got
get over there
his
so I can get a picture of you. Okay, yeah. We got his picture and we stopped and we really held we held up the cars there for a while. Everybody kind of wanted to get their view of it. Stop getting out of my way, guys. Come on. No, back up a little bit too close because I can't focus on you. There we go. Good. Okay, there he is. Noel, what did you have a good time today?
Yeah.
You want to tell us what you did that was
No.
particularly interesting?
Took a picture of me.
Okay, we'll pan back across here. This is going to I'm getting dizzy even doing this. I can imagine people watching this on their TV. Okay, now can you point out anything else that's interesting here? We're going to sign off for the moment. A couple casual tourists wandering in from Lake Louise. See, they're wandering in here. Let's see if we can't pick up some conversation from these casual looking people here.
Hello.
Hello.
There's a lake right up. I don't know if you can see way up there, but Lake Agnes is way up high. There's a little house. See this one mountain that looks sort of like a beehive? It's
Let's see if we
rounded,
can get, yeah,
trees on the top.
right in that little notch,
In that notch, there's another lake
right in there.
called Lake Agnes.
Lake Agnes is a lake, and it's right up there. This particular
Not
lake.
Victoria over here with the glacier, not Victoria
Oh,
Glacier.
okay. So that's what we were photographing over here. That's
And it
Mount
said that
Victoria.
The reason that the color is blue, or turquoise blue actually, is because the glacier ground up a lot of what they call rock dust and dumped it into the lake, and it reflects all colors except blue. So that's why we're seeing the blue.
Oh, I see. Well, this is very nice. It's very beautiful, and I hope that all of you that are listening to this get a sense of what Lake Louise at the chateau, at the glacier. There's a glacier right over there. isn't there?
Oh, I do. I thought you meant Glacier National Park. Banff Lake
No, no, no.
National Park, Canada.
Okay, well, we're going to sign off from the front of the chateau, and I'm just trying to pan left to right and see. Kathy's trying to recall if this is the same as when she was here 20-some years ago. You can see that it's pretty extensive. If I go almost probably 270 degrees around, you have quite a complex here. Chateau and People are kind of taken with this staircase. What, honey?
What's it
Now,
called?
let's see if you remember this bell captain.
This looks exactly like that house. Like
It's not the same guy. Oh, I see. Go ahead, it's okay. Tea and go ahead.
Assorted fruits and
Uh-huh.
like a fruit cup,
Right.
assorted pastries
Yeah,
for $9.95 a person.
$9.95 a person. Well, that seems pretty reasonable to pay for this view. But see, now we're inside the dining area and looking out through what appear to be arches that virtually put a picture frame around your individual view of this mountain and the lake and those glaciers that are up above. And you can see right out through this window, I hope. I'm going to strain it out there. That's up to, what'd you call that name? What was the name of that glacier, honey? Victoria? Victoria Glacier, okay. Mount Victoria, straight ahead. Okay, well that's pretty interesting. Pretty expensive and pretty interesting. Victoria dining room in the chateau. And the dining room is closed right now, but I just wanted to kind of capture a bit of the ambiance of this room. Once again, each one of the tables basically has a view out to the lake and to the mountain. It's really quite elegant, and I would guess you could probably seat several hundred people in here. Yeah, each one of these is painted differently, so this is really quite elegant. And at that end, there's a beautiful fireplace. And they have a place over there with a band, or in this case, a piano. Looks like they've got a drum set up there. Quite nice, quite nice.
Of our travels here in the mountains we're seeing, just beyond Lake Louise, headed toward Jasper National Park, which is the park beyond Banff and Lake Louise. There have been a lot of mountains and glaciers. There's one you can see right there if the camera's not too wobbly. Very, very thick. Jasper has a whole lot of ice fields that we may get up to see if we can get up that far. But these out here, these mountains that we're looking at, are very, very far away. Look almost dreamlike, like you could, like they're ethereal. You can't really touch them. Just a bit of scenery along the way. Scenery on our way going toward the ice fields at Jasper National Park, which is the park, Canadian Park, which is just north of Banff, Lake Louise. There's some mountains that we're coming to. The ice, the glaciers have been enormously thick on these mountains. When we see them from the side, it's really hard to judge how thick they are. Yes, there's one right there. And there's some in the valleys that are tremendously thick when you can see them overhanging. We're looking through the windshield, of course, so I'm not sure how clear this will be. And every bump, of course, is shown up in the filming. But this will give you a sense of where we're going, what we're doing here. The awesome peaks that we're seeing coming out of the canyon. Straight ahead are some twin peaks. And there's a real flat riverbed here. Very strange. Up to this point, we haven't had anything that looked like this. These walls on this side look very much like Zion National Park that we've been to before. Big granite walls, very, very high. There's a stream coming down from the top, a waterfall, dropping all the way down. Here it comes down here, a second layer, the lower falls. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. What we're seeing here. I window down. Down in this valley. We're coming up to the Columbia ice fields at this point, which we'll photograph in a minute. But this is looking back down to where we were. We're getting some elevation. Still in at the edge of Banff National Park going into Jackson National Park. Jasper National Park. Looking down in there, there's the river and the road where we were. Back this way. I wish we would have gotten this kind of photography on the Going to the Sun Highway. Can't give you a sense going that direction. The scenery as we approach the ice fields. Formation here. From afar, it almost looked like a hat with a band on it. We get up close and see what it's like. Different from even the mountains around it. Looks like there have been a lot of rock slides that have smoothed it off, sanded it down. A lot of interesting peaks over this way too. And up in here. All around us. We're beginning to get into the ice field area. If you can see this glacier here, very, very thick. Over here, all around us, all around over here. This is a Columbian ice field, the Columbian ice fields right here at Jasper National Park. Look at how deep those are. Jasper National Park here in Canada, just beyond Banff Lake Louise. This is a glacier ice field. There's a peak coming down over here. There's another one. Peak field. On the line between Alberta, the province of Alberta, Canada, and British Columbia, Canada. And this is the Columbian ice field. We read that at its deepest point, it's 1,200 feet deep. There's some people climbing on it over there. You can see way over there. Sliding on it. The wind is very strong at this point. It's chilly. The gang is over there reading the information about it. See if I can focus on this. Glacier territory surrounded by rock, ice, and mountain walls. You stand in a wintry landscape dominated by perpetual wind. Subject to blizzards even in July. They said that the annual snowfall was 23 feet. This is the main ice field, and off of it are many other glaciers up into the canyons of the mountains. This will give you a sense of it, however. You can't shoot that way because it's right into the sun. Well, I'll go this way. Give you an idea. Bus tours that actually go out driving on it and have gotten here sooner. They have ice walks with a naturalist. We're here Sunday evening at about 7 o'clock at night. They have naturalists who take you up on it walking and point out crevasses and talk more about its formation.